Hey everyone, this is Nitro. So in this video I am going to just review the finals match of the Apex Arena Season 2 and see how it played out, because Lemons beat Zelda 2-0 and I haven't even watched this, so here we go. So as always, the initial pick ban phase I'll take a look at carefully. So Zelda was well known as an Omega user, and clearly Lemons banned Zelda's Omega first, which is an interesting ban. In terms of party setup, this is very interesting because there's not that much overlap in terms of, faction buffing and whatnot, right? So I see some issues with faction buffing in this kind of party, right? And Estelle is a interesting third tank, that's for sure. I guess Zelda ran this party so that he could choose an attacker first, right? And then he can choose, and then he'll still have, and then if his opponent bans, let's say 2 tanks, he still has a third tank to choose from. So it's an interesting party setup. Lemons, on the other hand, has run a much more, I guess, traditional party overall. Joshua, time and space faction buff for Leonhard, I guess, and for himself. And time and space would also, I think, buff up, Iris. And other than that, standard 2 tanks. And I guess there's not too much else to say. Claret, Weiler are in the party. So here we go. Landius ban, and Zelda plays Zerida. Then 2 tank ban, of course. And Lemon chooses his only remaining tank, Juggler. So then Lemon loses Zerida and Yulia, 2 damage dealers, and Zelda plays Estelle, the 3rd tank. Zelda then loses Claret and Yulia. And Lemons, interestingly here, plays Claret. I guess it's to counter Zerida. Force Zerida to attack early, or else she's never going to get mobility buff ever again. So, Tieris and Leonhard is an interesting ban choice. Not what I would have expected, but okay. Zelda plays Listel next. Uses Bozel and Leonhard. Makes sense. Get rid of the dark faction buff now. Luna. Ooh. So, Liana and Iris. Still leaves Weiler though. And Zelda gets to play her Iris. And then Zelda loses Tieris and Bernhard. Weiler for Lemons. And finally Joshua and Listel are banned, while Zelda gets to play Liana. And then Lemons gets a choice between Rachel and Bozel. So, very interesting overall. I'm going to guess Lemon picks Rachel here because he can get mass attack from Weiler, right, to buff up Claret. So overall though, I think Lemons does have a pretty, in what I feel is a pretty good advantage, because there is both 2 single target strikers who can definitely one-shot characters, right? Oh, and I was wrong. Bozel was picked rather than Rachel. Alright, so let's quickly go through the first turn then. It's gonna be the maneuver forward. Bloodthirster Zerida. So, with the gospel skill from Liana. Alright, fair enough. And is there cheer here? There's cheer on Estelle as well. Meanwhile, now this is definitely interesting. This is not how I would have picked the skills as Lemon. If I were Lemon, I would have probably brought a faction buff on Juggler, and in that way, So that way Claret and, well, that way Luna can bring Raging Thunder, and then Claret would be as is. So very different skill pick from me. I would have also brought Mass Attack on Wilder myself, but then that would have been an option since Bozel has a summon undead. Alright, whatever, regardless, here we go. Faction buff. Juggler shifts forward into range of Zerida, right? But with 928 defense, yeah, I think Juggler could survive Zerida's Bloodthirster strike. So, Zerida though, Zelda's Zerida has 1433 attack with the plus 20%, which is kind of crazy. So Zelda. So Zerida goes after Claret. Has no real choice in truth. Now I'm kind of curious. How did he lose in this kind of situation? Oh, yeah. How did he lose in this situation? Because Estelle should be guarding now? We'll see. Oh, it might have been here. Yeah, this is interesting. Wait. Aha, there we go. So Zerida dies to Bozo. And then this move might have been another major issue, because now Luna, or not. What is going on? Oh wow. So that's interesting. Wait. Blood Dance did no damage at all there because both Luna and Juggler had Swordsmith medals. Okay, that was crazy. Very interesting there. So Listel, Blood Dance did nothing. Oh, and this might have been the issue, that Listel could not kill things. And then the sleep. Wow, okay, Bozol. Oh, wow. One-shotting Listel there. Sorry, one-shotting Estelle, better. And now Liana is going to die. This is very, very interesting. Ah, so this is why Zelda lost. Because both remaining characters for Zelda are both intelligence-based. Well, the problem is, Bozol has 906 magic defense, and Luna has 1245. So neither of them take all that much damage as a result from Listel and just like that. Interesting. So that was fascinating. That was really, really interesting, actually. Especially just how powerful Bozol was in that battle with the sleep and so on. Sleep and Dark Reaper. That combo really, really did way more damage than I expected it to. So here's the second match. So Landius ban again, and Zerda pick once more. Double tank ban once more. Juggler pick. This time it's Yulia and Claret. Okay. Bernhard. Interesting. So Claret and Yulia once more. Zerda. Iris and Tiaris. And Listel is played. Leonhard and Bozol. And Liana gets played. Yeah, this is... I feel like Lemons is at a massive, massive advantage right now for the second match. So, Iris. Liana and Tiaris are now banned. Bozol. Waller and Joshua. Sophia. And Listel. Yeah, I mean... Okay, this is... Yeah, Lemons totally won this. Zerda, Bozol, and Listel all together with a tank and a healer with Act Again. So the first battle was very, very interesting. I honestly thought Zelda had the advantage, but Lemons completely pulled that one off. But this one should be a clear victory for Lemons. There shouldn't be anything, you know, scary about this fight.
の信じる心です。
So Bernhard moves forward. I'm kind of curious, why does Lemons like summons so much? That's one thing I don't really understand. But regardless.
これはあまり使いたくないですよね。
Like, I mean, if I were Lemons, I probably wouldn't bring either summon. But that's me. You know. I'd probably still bring Dark Reaper on Bozo, for example, instead of a summon. And then Liana... Yeah, I don't know. In any case. So this has gone pretty differently from my expectations. I mean, I would have personally, again, this is me personally, but I probably would have had Zerida move up, act again my Zerida, and then wipe out the enemy Zerida. But that's me. So... He didn't get the Bloodthirster buff because of the debuff from Bozo. And Bernhard just gets annihilated. Regardless, it's totally over. Zerida has been set loose, so... Oh, I think I understand why Lemons chose summons now. By using summons, I think he was thinking that he could block the path of the enemy Zerida to keep his Zerida in a position where his Zerida could attack the enemy Zerida. Right? So with the two summons, he can block the path of Zerida attacking his friendly Zerida, and then his friendly Zerida could attack at will. So that was probably the basic plan. I see it now. In any case, regardless, I think Lemons had a big advantage going into this second match. And right now it is 2 versus 3. Oh, when did Iris get a mobility debuff? I missed that one too. Sorry, I'm gonna have to go back a little. Because she had a mobility increase here, right? So where did that happen? Oh, Master of Ice. That's what did it. Got it. So with that, Iris went from fascinating. So Iris, because of the mobility decrease due to being in water, could no longer attack the enemy Zelda. Wow.
これが私の信じる心です。
Extreme magic bow there. Keeping this Zelda massively in the fight. Right? That, because the extreme magic bow was what ripped up Listel's a lot just now. And also having 623 defense on the Zelda. So...
これが私の信じる心です。
It's actually kind of interesting watching this because lower level, like, I mean, even my battles would not play out like this because my characters would not survive a lot of these attacks that are surviving for them. So, wait, why didn't he keep Iris here and instead walked into the poison fog? To be fair though, it was 3v2. I didn't see any real way for Zelda to escape. Right. Like this, battle's done. Interesting. Overall, I have to say my takeaway from those fights is stats are massively important. Like, I mean, looking at my Zelda, I clearly don't have enough defense on my Zelda. You know, the enemy Zeldas had 670 defense and so on. I'm nowhere near close to that. So yeah, I mean, that battle turned into very much taking advantage of poison fog and your characters having enough stats to survive. I think that really is the takeaway. If your characters can avoid getting one-shotted, you can heal them up to full. But if they get one-shotted, you're screwed, right? So in that sense, this extremely ridiculously high defense Estelle, but with no magic defense, could have been one of the flaws. And also, I'm just gonna skip this, get to the second round. And also just how shockingly powerful or shockingly high status is on Lemon's Zelda, right? That 512 yeah, because if I compare Zerida's, 1234 attack, 437 defense, and 370 magic defense. Whereas Lemon's Zerida does have less attack, 30 less, but the defense value is significantly higher, 437 against 551. The magic defense value is actually similar, 370 versus 374, but interestingly enough, Listel wasn't able to do all that much to this Zerida. So I guess at the top level, the character builds are quite different from what I'm expecting. But yeah, Lemon's, I'm starting to understand Lemon's strategy deeper and deeper. The summons is to do the, force the enemy into the poison fog by seizing terrain and whatnot. And then as long as his characters are tanky enough to survive, he's good to go. So that's the strategy of Lemons. Very interesting overall. So there we have it. It certainly makes me think if I have to rebuild a whole bunch of my characters, right? Because this battle very much turned into a battle where you had damaged characters attacking each other and surviving. So for example, in particular, my juggler who currently has last rites probably doesn't want that last rites in truth. Right? Because you're going to want something else that can give more stats. Right? The last rites effect won't really kick in these battles. Rather, you'd probably want additional stats, so I'm not quite sure what I would give him. Maybe a Twilight Armor? Maybe a Gargoyle Jacket? But we'll see. So it's making me revise some of my thoughts on my current setup, that's for sure. I mean, don't get me wrong, this last rites has its use for sure. For example, it's especially great for when I do Ancient Beckoning. Right? It allows Juggler to tank hits that he would otherwise die to due to the 40% damage reduction. But it might be that I have to give him something else for PvP purposes. So we'll see. In any case though, very interesting battle. I certainly cannot fight that way at this time because my characters always die in one shot anyways. But yeah, it just shows at the top level of Apex Arena, it's about having your characters survive and avoid getting one-shotted more than anything else. So it might be, as I keep saying, that character builds, if you want to focus on PvP, needs to change up a lot. And on that note, Nitro out.